Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora and what's happening in Africa. If you're joining us for the first time, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe button on my YouTube page. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comments section below this audio podcast. Help make our audio podcast and our video podcast go viral by sharing my YouTube page with all of your friends on any social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thanks. Disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purpose only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This podcast is available in two forms, audio and also as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners again to subscribe to my Medium page where you can follow along during this presentation. I provide my Medium transcript in the comments section below this audio podcast on my YouTube page. I use this platform to share with people who are on my social media pages. I encourage Black artists, African artists, such as authors, poets, musicians, and Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, to make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can promote your books, your businesses, your music, and if you have a small ministry, then you're welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I will offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and Wix website. So that way they can launch either their online business or online ministry to the global community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this point in time, this is where I'm at. It doesn't matter how bad I would like to get my Christian business up and running in Chicago. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, which is to recruit like-minded Black Americans beyond Chicago and like-minded African immigrants across the United States. So that way, together we can build the best African American business within the United States, and that would be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We want to do that for credibility before we expand the business to the African continent. And we want to expand it to 10 African nations. And those African nations are as follows. But again, it's going to be African immigrants that lives here within the United States of America from these 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. Look, I understand that you came over here to live out your American dream, but I need your help because for 34 years, Black Chicagoans has been acting funny style with me. rejected my vision and plan to help improve our low income African American community or the low income Black community. And so this is why I created this platform. Again, I don't want to be wasting another 34 years being stagnant, being ignored. And I want to interact with my listeners. I encourage all of my listeners to please join the grassroots community activist movement. Join that by purchasing my revised book and reading my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicago, then you will automatically become a GRCAM member. So, and I want to move my Christian business from behind a computer and make our presence known here in the city of Chicago. So again, and I wrote my book in order to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants across the United States of America, as well as the global African family. If you're serious about me bringing my business over to the African continent, then please help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list so that way the Black world will know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people that's trapped in American ghettos. The reason why you're able to reach your American dream is because of my ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help get African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, and other non-white immigrants to this country under the civil rights struggle. Because truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted European immigrants here. So I'm just saying. Just bear with me. This business is for Black millennials and Generation Z. So I'm calling upon Black content creators, African content creators that have a large audience. Please make arrangements with me so that I can come on your platform so I can promote my revised book, as well as try to promote my film project. In order, I'm trying to raise capital for that. Now, the reason I have to do a film is because unfortunately a lot of our people don't like to read. It is what it is. And so if that's what it takes for me to get my business up and running, so be it. But again, my film project is my last attempt to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. But we got to get it popping here first. Those that have rejected my vision and plan for the past 34 years would not be part of my business. My business will be membership based. This is not my burden alone. This is a shared burden that GRCAM members, we will take the lead to fix our social problems in Black America. Our focus is on solving Black issues point blank. That's what I mean by M1, melanated first. I don't want the brand and the vision to die in America. That's why I'm pushing for this vision to the Black world. This is my contribution to Africa's rising. I am looking for legitimate artists who are film directors, producers, actors, stage managers, professional fundraisers, technical directors, and marketers who can work with me to get this film project fully funded and made. That's all I'm asking. Everything I've written in my revised book, I'm standing on business and I'm standing on what I've written. Ain't no shame at all. And like I say, anyone that, if you're not interested or disagree with the vision and plan, just keep it moving. Delete me off your friends list and go on about your business. My message ain't for you. And this year, I'm not going to sit up here and waste time trying to get, passive spectators to be involved. If you guys ain't interested, no problem. We'll just leave you behind on, you know, on the computer. I want to move from behind the computer. That's the whole thing, what we're doing in 2026. So that's where we at. Um, if you're serious about doing business with me, then please make yourself known to me. Don't wait until I am dead. Work with me while I am alive. In my revised book, I promote my email address. I have that in there. And again, I wrote my book in order to recruit brave and smart, like minded Black Americans that's going to help me run this business because, after all, this business is for those that's, I would say, 18 to 35. This business is for you all. I don't have any children. This world don't deserve my seed, but that's another story. Once we get this film project fully funded and made and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants. Um, I would say Black Black attorneys, African attorneys, investors, um, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. Those are the people that I want on my advisory board or my resource team. Because I don't want all this, this is a Nehemiah assignment, and I'm not going to sit up here and stress myself out. Life is too short for that. My business, I'm going to run it the way I run my home, drama free. That's just how it is. Anybody step to me talking smack or crazy and off the wall, if you step to me that way, we and get under my skin, we will remain strangers for life. I'm not none of Jesus. I'm just saying. Again, I don't operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. I want to make sure that our business will be effective and successful for years to come. I am called by my Lord and Savior, Jesus slash Yahshua, to rebuild Black Chicago, similar to that of Nehemiah, who was called by God to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah used qualified engineers, architects, and inventors to rebuild a new city. In contrast, I am seeking Black middle class professionals and African immigrants who hold associate degrees and above. I have to be honest. I'm not getting pushback from white America. I'm getting pushback from Black America. It's frustrating. It's unacceptable. And I want to make sure that none of my members under my leadership will have to endure such foolishness that I had to, just for trying to do something productive, productive and something positive in the low income African American community or low income Black community. Now, truth be told, the white man is not stopping Black Americans from purchasing my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's all a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I'm fighting up against. I have been paying out of pocket for my business title. I pay the city, state, and the IRS every year since 2010 because I believe in investing in our Black youth and their families. Yet I still don't have my management team in place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why my docudrama will be about my experience growing up in a dysfunctional household and the struggle that I had to endure, as well as um, the pushback that I've been receiving for the past 34 years, just trying to get this business up and running. And that's why my business is membership based. Um, some of my critics would ask me, why is it taking me so long to get my film project fully funded and made? And I flipped the script and I asked them, have they purchased my revised book? They say no. I asked them, have they bought any items from my virtual store? They say no. I asked them, have they donated to the film project? They say no. Then how in the hell you expect me to do my job? You know what I'm saying? The reason I wrote the book is order to generate capital. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to step to me sideways and want me to give them the book for free. A lot of pastors I ran across, a lot of Black pastors, going to say that. And I'm like, I didn't write this book for free. I'm selling my idea. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's time for the Black grassroots and the global African family for us to stand up. And GRCAM is about competing against Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism has been out for 125 years. And they still just doing a bunch of talking. Over here, under my leadership, we're not going to just sit up here and run off at the mouth. We're going to solve Black issues point blank. Those that disagree, again, we're going to pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. And that's real. Upcoming events. Saturday, January 17th, we have guest speaker, Miss Kenyetta Harris from Florida. She will be promoting her business, as well as she's a instructor. She teach phlebotomy, so she teach students that's trying to learn how to become a phlebotomist. So she's going to talk about that, as well as maybe she's a pastor too, so she may share a 30-minute sermon. So that's up to her. So we're going to have her later on today. Saturday, January 31st, that's my birthday. Again, my birthday wish is that all of my listeners worldwide would help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list. Please purchase my ebook. That's the lowest one. That's $9.99. That's all I ask. Read it. And if you agree with my vision and plan, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about it. Because again, I want to move this thing, but again, I can't do everything. I'm just one Black man with a vision and a plan. It takes a team to make a dream work. And I want to only talk with people that's like-minded, that's on business, standing on business like me. That's all. Although we don't have a physical building at this time, we are using this technology, which is the internet, to broadcast what we are trying to do in Black Chicago and beyond. On this platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connection with the global community. We are looking for 5 or more people from my Facebook page to be on my panel, as well as people in my social groups. So that way we can discuss um, the topic at hand. And I'm going to go into that shortly. Um, if interested, please send me a message to my Facebook inbox along with your email address so that way I can email you specific information about being on the panel. If you are unable to participate on our monthly um, interactive conference, then please listen to the replay and share the audio podcast with your friends on any social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. If you do not know how to use StreamYard, then make arrangements with me so that way we can practice before you come on the show. Um, Again, this year, 2026, we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made so that way we can get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for my people, Black Americans, who are trapped in American ghettos, specifically Black Chicago. What we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos. I am available the second week of January, Friday, January 16th, Saturday, January 17th, between 2 to 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm also available the third week of January, Monday, January 19th through Saturday, January 24th, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. American Central Time. I'm also available the fourth week of January, Tuesday, January 27th through Friday, January 30th, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. American Central Time. After the panel discuss the topic, then we will open up the StreamYard line for Q&A. The theme, how Europe uses Africa as a dumping ground for harmful pesticides. So basically, I want my panelists to watch the video first so they can get, some understanding about the topic. And then for them to come on here and just do the best that they can to, talk about this topic. But first, I'm going to talk, and that's called Side A. And then once I finish my presentation, then I'm going to turn it over to my panelists if I have them. Again, sometimes people don't show up, so I have to hold it down. It is what it is. But the whole purpose of me doing these monthly virtual interactive conferences is for us to raise funds for this film project, bottom line. And I am using 3 crowdfunding sources. I'm using our GoFundMe page, our Buy Me a Coffee page, as well as our PayPal Giving Fund page. So that way everybody would know exactly where the money is going. So you have 3 options where you can donate. But before you donate, I encourage all of my listeners to please read my story first, so that way you'll know what you get yourself involved with. Some people say that this is a scam. Selling a book is not a scam. That's just uneducated people talking that foolishness. Because those are the same people that's going to be in, I would say, in our mandatory orientations, want to sign up for our programs and services. And I'm going to tell you up front, again, this is membership based. Again, I do not operate like the next black man. I'm not on here playing games. This is for those of you that have children. I'm trying to, um, over here, we want to raise the bar, separate ourselves from these off code Negroes, con artists, pedophiles, degenerates, um, black boule, Democrat shields, and urban terrorists. Separate ourselves from that. And we're going to have uh, protocol in place to, for screening, to make sure we get those people out the way and things like that. And also, once I finish my presentation, I'm gonna go through a few slides because again, I come when I do this stuff, I'm not just running off at the mouth. I want to talk about, real social issues that's taking place. And I come with receipts. So I want to prove to my listeners that I know what I'm talking about. Let them see the different sources that I have, and most of all, trying to get trying to get more people to get involved with what we're trying to do. I'm getting up in age again. I don't want to be doing this another 34 years. At this point in time in the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I'm only working with those that's going to be GRCAM members. I'm only responsible for them, nobody else. And GRCAM members, I'm going to work with you and your immediate family members as long as you're going to be an active member. And again, I want to get it popping here in the city of Chicago. Once we get it up and running here, before I cut and run to Africa, I want to make sure that Sister Renee will be well taken care of, that we dedicate, I would say, a chapter to her and in West Memphis, Arkansas, because she's been working with me for the past 14 years behind the scenes. I really appreciate that. I wish I had more people, you know, in America that was working with me like that, but hey, it is what it is. And yes, she is a descendant of American slaves, such just like me, you know. But um, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this presentation. Title of this presentation: Minnesota ICE shooting highlights white America's internal conflict. And the second topic: another assassination attempt on Ibrahim Atori. The first topic: Minnesota ICE shooting highlights white America's internal conflict. A white woman by the name of Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE in her car. I watched the video. Law enforcement asked her to get out the vehicle. She did not want to get out the vehicle. I saw one officer get in front of the car. She backed the car up and he still asked her to get out of the car. Then she went forward and the car did touch him and he fired. Then, of course, she passed. Now, I'm going to say up front, any loss of human life is not a good, especially tragic loss. But I want to remind white America of something. When law enforcement was taking the lives of black Americans being killed by, I'm going to say, road cops, because not all cops are bad. You know what I'm saying? So I focus on the road cops. So when black Americans were being killed by law enforcement, what did you say? Well, if they would have listened to the police and followed lawful orders, then none of this would happen. Will you apply that same message to Renee Good? I mean, because according to what I saw on the video, Why didn't she comply with lawful orders? I remember white America said the officers afraid for their lives and ICE agents is afraid of their lives too. For over a decade, I have seen white America support these police policies. The only reason they're been called to account is because of black Americans. The only reason they have body cams is because of black Americans. As long as they were doing it to black Americans, white Americans was fine with they were fine with what was going on. Now it's affecting you all in your community and you're shocked. Don't argue in the streets with the police. This is what you told black Americans. So you need to apply the same advice in your community. People are asking why black Americans are not out in large numbers protesting in the streets. Two reasons. One is it's not our business and it's not our fight. Um, Black Americans has been um, fighting for America for far too long. We done enough, doggone it. We still want our reparations, and white America have an issue with that. You give reparations to other groups, but you don't want to give us our reparations, and that's not cool. But hey, it's up to you. If you don't want to give us our reparations. No, 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 no big deal. But I'm gonna always keep throwing that in your face, always, when you want us to do something for you. If you ain't gonna give us reparations, then you're gonna have to fight your own battles. It's just that simple. We're delineating from everybody, as well as separating ourselves from the enemy within. Black Americans wanted the George Floyd bill and for the criminal justice system to get rid of qualified immunity to hold road cops accountable. For years, when it's happening to Black Americans are not going to go out there. We need to fix our own issues. Again, they were cool. White America was cool when our children was losing their lives, being killed by road cops. White America was cool with us losing our health insurance. They were cool about us losing our jobs. White America, you will stand on the side of righteousness, which is the side of Black Americans. Our ancestors have fought for everybody, but all of these other groups have turned against us. Now you're experiencing what you supported. Maybe next time, stand on the right side of history and not on the side of racism. White America was not prepared to see a white woman gunned down. According to white conservatives, Renee Good intentionally used her vehicle as a deadly weapon and ended up losing her life to protect illegal immigrants. The woke mind virus has destroyed liberal white women. That's what the white conservatives say. They're letting you know that you will not be uh, spared. It did not require weeks of protesting. It did not require people soliciting mainstream media. When it's something that happens to Black Americans, it takes weeks. But when a white woman is is killed, all of a sudden everybody is out in the streets demanding justice and accountability. The politicians take it serious because you see, there is a difference. And again, that's white privilege. This is mega in fighting on the public stage. This is why it is important that America fight for social justice for all groups. But since white America has not resolved racism, now all these other groups are about to experience what Black Americans have been going through for the past 400 years. There's this guy from the Better Bachelor channel who calls himself the Joker. He will sum up what's going on in white America. And so I'm gonna, I just show you that video clip when I get to it. When I finish going through this presentation, I'm gonna pick out different video clips that you all should, check out. To that again, that's like my those are my receipts. To watch his video, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast on my YouTube page. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. According to him, he said 80% of the protesters are white liberal women. YouTube spent the last 4 years boosting the algorithm for his channel while shadow banning our content on this platform. They openly promote these right wing white supremacist echo chambers. He's a white man with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who echo his sentiments. They are some of you who misinterpret things, which is why I created this platform to make things plain and in layman terms. This is not about whether or not you support illegal immigration. What's happening in Minnesota is a model. So many white Americans are unhappy about what they're seeing. White supremacy is having the freedom and the power to mistreat anyone at will. According to their worldview, anyone, every, everyone is happy to be dominated and abused and exploited by them. In their twisted, sick mentality, African people, Black people are supposed to be happy being enslaved and colonized because, according to them, that's their God complex. They are supposed to be our Lord and Master, and we as Black people or African people are supposed to accept slavery and servitude. Black people are not sick when we went into revolt. We were sick when we were accepting the abuse. That was when we were sick. The bottom line is MAGA has declared war on liberal white women and putting them in their place. Charity begins at home. So does retribution. These platforms, Facebook, TikTok, X, and YouTube, are not ours. It's owned by someone else. For me, I'm all about building and owning our own stuff. In time, I would like for us to eventually create our own app and website. Right now, my focus is on recruiting others from my social media to join our film project team, those that specifically here in the United States of America, so that together we can raise the funds to get this film project fully funded and made. That's all I'm trying to do. I want to push more ownership, creating our own things, and that's what we're doing now, or that's what I'm trying to do. On this platform, we promote Black artists, African artists. That's what we do over here. And I give everybody that's on my friends list, especially on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, I would say Instagram, TikTok. I'm giving you all an opportunity to come on this platform to promote your products and services. But you're going to have to get on camera. And a lot of y'all don't want to exchange emails with me. So, I mean, if you want to come on my show, you're going to have to exchange emails. It's just that simple, you know. Uh, well, if you're not trying to build something of your own, then you're just waiting for a problem. I hear black people complaining about TikTok not paying them like they used to. If you don't create a way to stay connected with your audience, then you have to pivot. According to mainstream media, from the Bay Area to Boston, anti-Asian, anti-ICE protests have taken place across the country. I'm so proud of Black Americans for not participating in all those, I would say, protests, because illegal immigration will be our downfall in this nation. We also have to confront this slave mentality within Black society if we want to survive. According to Department of Homeland Security, they say she drove toward the agent that fired in self-defense, which from the video I saw, that's what it looked like to me. Renee Good felt comfortable enough to even engage ICE agents like that. She had no problem going back and forth with them. Why? Again, because she she's a white woman and because of white privilege. Black Americans know better because we lose our lives um, for a lot less. Minnesota prosecutor calls on the public to share Renee Good's shooting as evidence with her office. Black Americans have voted in the 2020 election for Joe Biden. We wanted the George Floyd bill and the removal of qualified immunity from these road cops so that they can be held accountable for their actions. Notice the Biden administration helped push the anti Asian hate crime bill, but the George Floyd bill did not get enough votes to pass. The Biden administration only focused on two issues: LGBT and immigration. He did not support getting rid of qualified immunity. A lot of Black Americans got disenfranchised with the Democrat Party. The Democrat shields want to blame the Black grassroots that the Democrats lost the election in 2024. I don't reach the amount of people that a well funded TV network may reach. So, how could the Black grassroots really be influenced by someone like me? Maybe only a small amount, but not really many. It was the Democrat Party not offering Black Americans any economic tangibles. The Democrat Party invested billions of dollars into Kamala Harris, who was just shucking and jiving and bootlicking. They had Black celebrities, and yet they still could not get that lady elected. Now the prosecutor wants to prosecute the ICE officer immediately. No investigation, but Black Americans have to go through all kinds of legal process. Minnesota is a liberal state. George Floyd was unalive in the same city. We need ICE because they are here to make sure we don't have people flooding our country that don't belong here. We need customs and enforcement. If I travel to any country, I have to make sure that I'm there legally. As long as you follow the immigration rules of every nation you go to, you don't have a problem. But the issue is people have been here and not getting their paperwork in order. They're doing things the wrong way and it's creating a problem. Everybody who did it the right way don't have a problem with ICE. Black Americans in the country have lived for centuries of being unalived by white supremacists, such as the Ku Klux Klan. For example, Tamar Rice, unalive, is still available on YouTube. Police officers with all the training required to obtain a badge shot and killed that boy seconds after arriving on the scene, looking for an adult with a gun. I believe Black Americans and African immigrants need to focus on fighting for our issues and our community because we are all we have. Nobody's going to come rescue us. That's what I take from the TikTok video entitled, quote, "Are you saying what happens to brown people is not relevant to black folks?" Unquote. Look at the long, oh, to watch that video, just go to my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. Look at the long list of Black Americans who were unalived by road cops: George Floyd, Michael Brown, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Corey Gaines, etc. We care about our brothers and sisters because if we don't, who will? Nobody's trying to come to our rescue. All these other groups, they end up siding with white supremacy. Black Americans should not be out there protesting ICE. Illegal immigration is against our interests. When I do these presentations, I come with receipts. Do y'all remember Michael Brown? He was unalive at 18 years old. Michael Brown got gunned down for walking in the middle of the street. The police was cussing at him and he was talking back, which escalated into a physical altercation between Michael Brown and the police officer over the police officer's handgun. This is why Gurkai is needed in the low income African American community or low income Black community. We will teach our young Black youth how to interact with law enforcement in order to avoid deadly encounters. But again, right now, I don't have enough support. You know, like I say, my book is barely selling, so I can't hire anybody because I'm not making money. You know what I'm saying? That's how come I have to do a film. Bottom line. So just bear with me, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Um, White America wanted the, so when the case of Trayvon Martin, um, look how white America was acting in the courtroom. White America did not ban the police department. They supported the police during Michael Brown. In 2014, during the Obama administration, ICE told Renee Good to get out of her car, but yet a Black child just playing in the park, minding his own business, gets gunned down, not messing with law enforcement. They talk about protecting children, but yet these videos are still online. Videos about Tamir Wright, I believe also about Trayvon Martin. They showing him being shot to death. Those images, that's not good. Okay. Our people lose their lives over a lot less. Do you remember Eric Gardner? A road cop choked him to death because he was selling loose cigarettes in front of a liquor store. Those are called a broken window crimes. White America was not outraged by this incident. After The brother's life was taken. His daughter took up the fight for justice, and with time, she ended up passing away due to stress. White America didn't get rid of the NYPD. They said Blue Lives Matter. Do you remember Freddie Gray, a young brother from Baltimore who only crime was running away from the police? He was arrested and put on a rough ride, which broke his neck. Um, yes, his neck, yes, and I believe his spine too. Major Mayor Marilyn Mosley wanted to prosecute the cops involved to make an example out of them. They were all acquitted under the Obama administration. Obama didn't do anything to protect Black Americans. Alton Sterling, out out there in Louisiana, police ran up on him and gunned him down. White America didn't demand that the Baton Rouge Police Department be disbanded or nothing like that. They supported Blue Lives Matter. Remember George Floyd? He was accused of using counterfeit money. A rogue cop placed his knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes until he was unalive. White America didn't call for the police department to be disbanded. Remember Breonna Taylor? She was asleep with her boyfriend. Road cops burst down the door, and her boyfriend believed somebody was breaking in. So he shot at them, and they returned fire, unaliving Breonna Taylor. Do you remember Walter Scott? Walter Scott was a military man. He um, he was behind in his child support and ended up getting an arrest warrant. He was stopped by a police officer and he tried to run away, but was shot in the back several times. Michael Slager tried to plant a taser near him, but he was caught on camera planting evidence. It was business as usual in America. Do you remember Jacob Jacob Blake? He was shot 7 times in the back by road cops. Do you remember Jalen Walker in Ohio? Police officers shot Jalen Walker, a 25-year-old um, Black American, after an attempted traffic stop and a car chase. Footage show an officer saying that Walker's car was slowing down after reaching speeds of more than 50 miles per hour in a residential area. Seconds later, Walker, wearing a ski mask, exited the vehicle and began to flee on foot. Officer pursued on foot and fired more than 90 rounds at Walker, shooting him just like an animal. They support the police all this time. I mean, we can go on, ladies and gentlemen, about the shooting of Black Americans at the hands of the police, and white America supported every bit of it. You don't have no right to talk about the police killing anybody. You don't have no right to talk about gentrification because you all supported that too. We were talking about gentrification for years. Now, all of a sudden, they're being gentrified out of their properties because they can't afford it. Everything is getting very expensive here in the United States of America. If white America would have supported what Black Americans have been talking about as it pertains to economic issues, criminal justice reform, probably we wouldn't be dealing with these issues today. And what did Trump say about Renee Good? He said she was a radical and a domestic terrorist. And he said the people protesting, who's mostly white, are terrorists too. Black Americans are sitting in the House being law abiding citizens. People talk talking about the delineation movement, but it's bigger than just delineation. It's also a spiritual move to separate ourselves from the greater problems of America. Black Americans have carried the weight of this nation for far too long. We have done enough. It's time for white America to deal with their own social issues that they created. The judgment of America is at hand, and the American empire is slowly falling. We got to so many things we have neglected in Black America. The white supremacist financial elites want us to depend on them for everything so that they can continue to oppress us. How many of you have left a job working for them and then started your own business? It feels like you literally been let off the slave plantation. During Jim Crow, our ancestors had their own businesses, schools, grocery stores, hospitals, you name it. That what our ancestors built right here in America. Here's a surge of Black Americans returning back to the HBCUs. They're leaving PWIs, which stands for public white institutions. When you love yourself, you want to be educated by other blacks. Encouraging your children to go to HBCUs, put the put our children in a safe space. Our children need to be around other Black Americans and other African immigrants, and be educated by Black people and African people. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we got issues and problems, but collectively we can solve our issues together. In Kai of Chicago, we will practice cultural gatekeeping. When our children attend these public white institutions, you're bringing your best athletic talent to them. What's wrong with bringing our best athletic talent to HBCUs? White America is going through it right now. We're trying to fix our situation, starting with recruiting young African Americans and young African immigrants to join our film project. Bottom line, that's all I'm trying to do. So I can move from behind the computer, make our presence known in the African American community, specifically Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, and then expand to the south side of Chicago, make our presence known there as well. Now, since Black Chicagoans have rejected my vision and plan for the past 34 years, you know, it was my hope that Gurkai of Chicago would be, because this is what I wrote in the book, at least in 25 cities, or let me just say it this way, at least in 10 cities here in America, and in at least 5 African nations. That's what I was hoping. But I'm still on first base, and it's a straight up turnoff. It's not cool at all. I'm not on here for make people, like feel sorry for me. This ain't about me. I don't have kids. This world don't deserve my seed. I'm trying to help the next generation. I'm trying to help the unborn black children that's going to be on this planet. But because of the slave mentality within black society, that's the main thing that's holding me back. And again, this is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants as well as the global African family to help speed up this process. You know what I'm saying? It's just a straight up turn off. But once we get it popping here, like I say, I want to turn the business over and I want to expand it to the African continent, starting in South Africa. I'm only working with Africans that want more out of life and that's going to become GRCAM members. This is membership base, and that's who I'm going to serve. And again, we're going to raise that bar. White America is going through it right now. We're trying to fix our situation. with recruiting young Black Americans and young African immigrants to join our film project team. Our music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, and blues was hijacked by these other groups. And you know who these groups are. They took our cultural music. They use they they okay, they used it, but okay, let me say it this way. They use us, but they control our music. You sign record labels. Look at most of these so-called musicians on these labels. All these producers were taking out your deal, and because they have been in control of our cultural music, our generation wealth is in our culture. Our music is our generational wealth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired of hearing the filth that they are putting out by these other groups who are using our cultural music. It's our music. It's not for everybody. It's our music. For example, you don't tell Chinese people that their culture is our culture too. For me, taking back our culture means recruiting our young listeners between the ages of 18 to 35. Again, this organization or business is for them and their families. I want us to create quality black empowerment films and reclaim our cultural music. When you listen to our past cultural music, we didn't degrade each other. When these other groups got involved, they started pushing beefs between brothers in order to sell more records and also to fill those private prisons. There's nothing wrong with hip hop. We just need black Americans to reclaim hip hop. Everything we need is right here in our culture, and we want to expand our Christian business throughout the diaspora in places like Africa, the Caribbean, and Brazil. We've done great things together. If you um, center our culture, that's where your generation wealth will be. These other groups have been taking generational wealth off our culture for a long time. It's time for us to take our culture back and everything that belongs to us. That's how come I say reclaiming, rebuilding, and restoring the urban ghettos in America. That doesn't mean some, twisted brother or sister may think that I'm trying to, like say that we want the 16-story high rise projects and all that stuff. No, that's not what I'm talking about. When, before the civil rights era, um, all of our people were placed, especially in the North, when they migrated our ancestors that left the South and went to the West and up north to northern cities and eastern cities. They were confined in quote unquote the red zones, which were, that's redlining. The white supremacist financial elites did that on purpose to hurt our, economics. But I'm just saying, we want to reclaim those areas. And also, before the civil rights movement, uh, I would say our middle class blacks as well as upper class blacks, they were confined in those red zones. So that's what I'm saying about reclaiming, you know. Um so as long as the African continent remains dysfunctional, other groups are making a bag from that or making money. In Krakow, Chicago, we will not promote drill music harming other black people. We won't have that. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites that you're on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, another assassination attempt on Abraham Attari. Abraham Attari, the president of Burkina Faso. I think this is the 10th assassination attempt. Word on the street is that if on the street is that it was funded by Ivory Coast. It's sad that another African nation is trying to take out an African leader who is doing great things for his people. I found an article from the, the BBC entitled, quote, Plot to Kill Burkina Faso Leader Foiled, says junta, unquote. To read the full article, please go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast on my YouTube page. Click on the link and then scroll down to show and prove. In a nutshell, the article explained that ever since Ibrahim Attari seized power, Captain Attari faced two coup attempts, also grappling with growing jihadist violence that forced millions from their homes. Despite these challenges, he maintains a strong support and has gained a following across the continent for his Pan African vision and criticism of Western influence. Critics, both local and former, accuse Captain Attari of using authoritarianism and says his government suppressed journalists and the media. I believe that Captain Attari life will continue to be in danger because France and other Western nations can't survive without Africa's resources. Whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, they all have one goal: continue global white supremacy in order to dominate the world. The white supremacist financial elite's objective in Africa is to subjugate Africans so that they can continue stealing our resources. I'm not getting pushback again from white America. I'm getting pushback from Black America for the past 34 years. That's how come I'm calling on the Global African Family to work with me, help get my book on that bestsellers list so that way I can earn money to hire qualified people to help me run this business. That's all. Then I'll bring, I'll turn the business over and I will come to Africa myself to get that thing popping and make sure that we set up local chapters. That's all I want to focus on, big time. I don't want to waste my time just, sitting up here on the platform, just doing news and social commentary. You know what I'm saying? But this is where I'm at. Before I can bring Gakai of Africa, we have to get it popping here in America first, both Black Americans and African immigrants. I want both groups to be on board because, after all, it's for Black Americans, it's for African immigrants, and when I bring it to the continent, it's for Native Africans. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. Like I said in my last podcast, back in the 90s, when I was doing street ministry, I explained to Black Chicagoans about embracing my vision and plan, which will help improve our social conditions in our inner cities. A majority of Black Americans had an issue with what I was saying. And again, that was, I call it the era of warning. Today, we are now in the era of consequences under President Donald Trump, travel ban to many African nations. If Black Americans and African immigrants don't build Gakai of Chicago, then our children will suffer in this country that our ancestors built. Gakai of Chicago would take the lead in solving Black issues at the community level, become an economic base in the low-income Black community, if given a chance. Black America, like I say, have two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. White supremacy is pan-Europeanism. They're able to dominate the world because they practice pan-Europeanism. Black people are struggling to get pan-African off the ground because of failed tribalism. This is a wake-up call for Black people and African people globally under the Trump administration. Because at the end of the day, we're under attack. We've been under attack for 2,000 years since the Europeans invaded our continent. They realized as a minority on this planet, they make up only 13% of the population on this planet. We're the global majority, but we're not united. Um, Say whatever you want to say about white people. The fact is that they're very organized and they unite against their enemies. They haven't done, okay, let me say that again. We haven't done anything to these Europeans. They came over to our continent, started ever since they stepped foot on the continent. Africa has been going through hell, and that's unfortunate. We didn't ask these people to come to our continent. You know what I'm saying? And then got a nerve to want to be racist and stuff. It's just a straight up turnoff. But hey, it is what it is. Um, the fact is that the fact is um, we haven't done anything to them to hate us, but we are perceived as their enemies. White Americans are concerned about what's happening in Europe because that's their homeland. CAM is about raising the bar in Black America, separating ourselves from the enemy within. Those are sellouts, con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. We in Krakow, Chicago, Black Americans that become members will heal from the scars of enslavement and colonization. African immigrants will heal from that colonized mindset. We're not in a position to fight white supremacy. I'm just saying. We got to heal and learn how to get along with each other and learn how to do business with each other. Again, I want all of my members to understand that the only reason it's taking me so long to get this business up and running is because of this slave mentality among Black Americans. Now, once I start making money and we, make an impact in the low-income African American community or low-income Black community, everybody's going to want to be a part of us. But there ain't nothing changing on my end. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing changing. Again, I require mandatory orientation. I require that everybody, we're going to put everything on the table, let everybody know what we're about and what we stand for and what we ain't going to accept. I want people to sign the community pledge. I want people to pass our criminal background check. And I want people to submit their thumbprint to be placed in our database, those that's 18 years old and upward. That's how I get down. So that way we can weed out these con artists, because we're going to have protocol in place to deal with such persons. So again, my revised book has been on Amazon now for 14 years and still barely selling. That's proof that a majority of Black Americans don't want a solution. GRCAM have two fronts: a domestic front, which will focus only on solving Black issues in America, and an international front, which will focus on solving African issues on the continent. We will compete against Pan-Africanism, which only talk a good game. They have been out for 125 years and still don't have nothing to show forth. GRCAM is about making our presence known in the low income African American community or the low income Black community. Again, we're about raising the bar. We want to make connections with the community residents that we serve. We want to become an economic base in the low income Black community. We want to create Black empowerment films so that way we can generate capital to put money in the pockets of our Black youth so that way they can feed their families. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I believe that a new 2.0 Berlin Conference is at work to oppress Africa and its people. That's why I'm reaching out to the global African family to help me speed up the process to get so that way I can expand Gurkai to the African continent while we still have a little time left. This is why the relationship with Black um, Black, Native Africans, and the diaspora is essential at this stage. We have to trade and do business among ourselves for our own interests because these superpowers are popping up across the continent. The Trump administration is talking about increasing their defense budget by $500 billion. Europe is doing the same thing. China is doing the same thing. Where is Africa defense budget? We have to prioritize our own interests right now because we don't have the time to play around. The world that Trump is trying to usher in is global chaos. It's a signal for Europe to um, um, hold on. I gotta, I get tongue twisted with this. But militarize is so again. It's a signal for Europe to materialize. Materialize. Africa needs to materialize as well. The United States of America wants to maintain the Western Hemisphere. Russia wants to rebuild the Soviet Union, and Western nations want to compete for Africa's resources. That's a world where neo-colonial will resurface again. And hey, we ain't having that. That's why I want to bring my business over there to do what I can to be part of Africa's rising. You know what I'm saying? The mega agenda, Make America Great Again, is by containing China and Russia in Africa. Make America Great Again is also about taking resources anywhere. That's why this happened in Venezuela. Trump's goal is to create global chaos so that they can usher in a new world order. What's happening under the Trump administration? We are in the changing of the guard. That's a war against African people and Black people, as we can tell by the kind of laws that are being pushed in the Western world to curb our rights. We have to rid ourselves of Western authority out of our nations. And we can only do that if we stop practicing tribalism and come together in order to reclaim our homeland and our continent from European and other non-African groups. We need to build military strength in Africa. That's all I'm saying. And the only way we're going to build ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and submarines is that we need our own engineers. Our core values in Gurkai of Africa will focus on integrity, quality, safety, and Sustainability. We will be committed to assisting with the advancement of the African infrastructure and promoting African business so that both African people on the continent and Black Americans in the inner cities can receive beneficial exchange. So that means both groups is going to benefit. That's what I want to do over here, as opposed to Pan Africanism. With Pan Africanism is only one sided, because when Africans and Afro Caribbeans come to America, those groups they benefit from the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? But in exchange, when we go over to, let's say, the African continent, we got to come with a bag. That's not right. But I understand it is what it is, you know. But we just want to make sure that everybody's going to benefit in Grakai. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to be just one-sided like with Pan Africanism. Understand the importance of connectivity and have a model to measure our progress in both America and on the continent. That's what we want to do through this business. All right. Currently, there's no strategy on how to defend the continent, but we are going to train our African youth so that they can feel, the jobs that Gurkai of Africa will offer to Gurkhan members. Africa don't have defense equipment to defend our continent. Gurkai of Africa will help create industries to create jobs for the locals. The white supremacist financial elites are the only group of people who are allowed to go into other people's country and make progress for their own people. That's not right. That doggone double standard. Shoot. Hey, we want to check that. That's all I'm saying. That's not right. We ain't gonna be playing no double standard and being treated as second class citizens in our own homeland. Come on now. It's my hope that Gurkai of Africa will offer tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences. I already said that earlier. So, with that being said, please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast and for joining us for the first stream of the year. We greatly appreciate it. If you see a survey, then please give us a good rating, because those ratings help recommend more content. Ladies and gentlemen, I need all hands on deck. You know what I'm saying? I encourage everyone that's listening to please purchase my ebook. You can download it to your smartphone. It's $9.99. And read my story for yourself. That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? Again, quote, Hood Liberator. This is what we're trying to this is the film that we're gonna make. Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our crowdfunding pages, which are our GoFundMe page, our Buy Me a Coffee page, or our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate to our PayPal Giving Fund page, because you can use it as a tax write-off, because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase by revised book. The ebook is $9.99, or the softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you all for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I want to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify and Podchaser. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues and African issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. See you on the next episode. Now, before I end this podcast, I am gonna show you all how to navigate. Okay. Because again, I want to connect with my listeners. So let me see. All right. So this is going to be. All right. So hopefully y'all can see this. This is my YouTube page. Okay. So I appreciate, I have 604 subscribers. Really like to get that number up, y'all. Come over this way, especially those that's on my Facebook page. I have like about 1,000 people that's on Facebook. My backup page. Need you all to come over here and subscribe. All right, appreciate that big time. That way you'll know when we're uploading different things, new videos and all that. And so this is going to be an example. So I'm going to click on here. Yes, so I got it the sound off. But this is okay, so you'll scroll down like what I'm doing right now. I'm scrolling down to where it says 2 comments. So this is where I always like to post my stuff in the comment section where it says my credibility. Click on there where it says read more. So this is where you can get my book, okay? As a matter of fact, hold on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to click on it. This is the book right here. This is the foundation of my Christian business. Kindle, which means ebook, $9.99, paperback, $15, plus shipping and handling. It's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Read my story for yourself. You agree with my vision and plan, you automatically become a GERCAM member. And if you got suggestions for me, I'm all ears. Those of you that haven't bought the book, that's not a GERCAM member, don't keep your advice to yourself. Because I ain't asking you for no advice. And plus, you ain't rolling with me. Go on about your business. Again, here's our GoFundMe page right here for our film. But again, purchase the book first, please. Read my story. If you agree, cool. If you disagree, go on about your business. That's all I can say at this point in time. So here's my or our GoFundMe page for 2026. Trying to make this happen. Know what I'm saying? So far, no donations. Trying to get the thing popping, doing the best that I can within my power. I want to say that I thank God for Lady Vicky, that I met back in December at a Christmas party. Working things out with her, I must say her sponsor. A lady from Can TV. Dr. Mobley. So I'm trying to do business with her. Hopefully I'm going to do a book interview over there. And then I'm going to work with her to help me try to get some sponsors and donors, for my film project, because that's what we want to focus on in 2026. Get this thing fully funded so um, you know the whole black world know who we are, and so I can be in a better position to hire people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about over here. Uh Now this is our PayPal Giving Fund page. You'll see that. So just letting y'all see. This is how you fund us. Okay. And this is the actual um our virtual store right here. These are the different items that we sell. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do better, but right now this is where I'm at. You know, I'm on a shoestring budget. I can't be running around the country and all that stuff just because I'm not making much money at all. I'm doing the best that I can. But again, God give us free will. So it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen. All righty. So that's that. Let me see what else I want to show you. All right, hold on. Let's see. Um Now I'm gonna show you my Medium page. I'd like for you all to subscribe, follow me over here, ladies and gentlemen. So far, I only have 92 followers, but I'm just saying this is where I post my speech, and this is my presentation that I just read right here, and I post it every time I upload a new presentation. I read it right there. Okay, so that would be nice. Um, let's see. All right, now this is my um LinkedIn tree. And so I'm going to click on, well, first of all, for those of you let's say, that's not on my friends list on Facebook, I recommend that you send me a friend request. And that's my Facebook page right here. Let me move this out the way. My hands, arms stretched out. So this is my main page I'm on now. The other pages I have issues getting on because the hackers are forever bugging. I ain't bothering anyone, but it is what it is. So just send me a friend request on here with this image if you want to connect with me on Facebook. Um, Also, you can connect with me on my TikTok page. I'm clicking on it right now. That's me right there. And so, just send me a friend request over here, and we could I can try to get you on my show that way as well. But again, exchange emails with me so that way it's not just me trying to connect with you, let's say through Facebook, but also I would also have an email. So that way, at least we have some options in case we have any technical difficulties. That's why I wanted you to exchange emails with me. And yeah. So I'm almost done. So just bear with me, please. So this is called my Substack page. So you can send me a friend request on here. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Well, anyway, up here where this cursor is, see Emmanuel Barbie online, all one word, .substack.com. Send me a request over there. Okay. And let's see. Let me see what they're saying. So here, this is what this is my actual speech that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's a lot. But again, you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing you I'm scrolling down so that way I can show you some receipts. And I'm not going to go into everything, but I'm going to just point out, you know, some of the main videos that I would recommend that you check out, and you know, or just look at all of them, you know, if you have the time to do that. Uh this guy right here, he's kind of rough. You know, he's the guy that I, from my understanding, you know, that's talking about waging, I would say, war against white, the white female liberal. This man here. So if you check out his video, you know, he'll go into it because he's a conservative, and conservative mean you know, Republicans, liberals are Democrats. Okay. This video is heartbreaking. Check this out when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just showing it to you so you can see. Um, yeah, that's. I want you to hear what this lady has to say. Okay, because this coincides with what I just got you talking about. Excuse the language, but hey, I mean that's how people express themselves. You know, I mean, I have no, you know, I can't control what people say. You know, it is what it is. But so y'all just have to, yes, I don't like it when people be, you know, a lot of profanity, but it is what it is. I want y'all to check this one out. And well, oh man, I don't even see it with this. There's another one I wanted to show. Man, what is going on? Yeah, well, yeah, see, it's a lot. Well, like I say, you know, I listen to different other people's perspectives, but like I said, I just want to bring, you know, receipts. That's all. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's like I wanted to get that one about the the karma, but I just unfortunately Unable to find it. Man. Trying to find that. No, not that one. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff, It's just, stuff is on. It's all I can just say is rough. This is real. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I wanted to show you. So thank you all for listening. I'm gonna go ahead and um, close this out. Thank you all for listening to what I had to say, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace and blessings. And that's going to conclude our show for today.